right, so we talked about running and doing things in your local communities. But what we're finding right now, first of all, I want to make sure no other politicians here. And I hate calling Trevor Jacobs a politician because he's not a politician. He's a rare breed. Statesman is a great word. Any other word that would like? No? Okay. We're finding tyranny at the local level now. Not just at the state house, but at the local level. So what Governor Kelly has done with her order is empowered the counties, which generally is a great idea because I'm always pushing for control at the local level. But what can happen sometimes, anybody watch Dukes of Hazzard? Right? I grew up with Dukes of Hazzard. You know, the Hazzard boys going flying over or whatever, you know, they flew over that particular week. But they flew over a lot of stuff and they were always being chased by somebody, right? Who was it? Roscoe Pico train. And it seems like in some of these counties, there's also a boss hog, okay? And they're controlling this Roscoe Pico train to go after the Duke boys. They're just trying to have a little fun. But in our case, we got hairdressers, we got barbers out there trying to provide for their families. And we got overzealous sheriff's departments cracking down on them. These are individuals literally that are cutting their hair, the sheriff's hair, that are now being threatened by the sheriff because Laura Kelly has them on this wild order, even though they've never had a case of COVID-19 in their county. I've got a county just I'm not going to name them, I'm not going to shame them right now, but I've been very vocal about them in the past. The county just to the east of Marion County, if you look at a map, who has gone off the deep end. They literally said if you went to Wichita for a non-essential reason, you had to quarantine yourself for 14 days. Now, if you went to Wichita for an essential reason, like go to Walmart, you didn't have to quarantine yourself for 14 days. And they were enforcing this. This is what I'm talking about. So we got to be mindful of these type of situations. Right now, we have a couple situations. I dealt with one. You might have saw it on our Facebook page. You might have seen a news anchor trying to do a sting on this particular hairdresser out in western Kansas. Worked with her all week, trying to make things nice and smooth in that county with that sheriff. Believe me, the sheriff's hands were tied. We got him to stand down. She's still quietly operating, right? And the sheriff's not doing a damn thing about it, which is great. Ultimately, that was what I wanted to have happen. But without you guys, without this army that we have, we wouldn't be able to make that possible because what we're having is these local guys thinking that they're the boss, right? And we forget, we the people are the boss. We need to be able to show up when we're called upon. We've got another situation that's kind of brewing right now. You might have seen it on their Facebook page, our Facebook group, McPherson. I'm going to just say it right now. Be on the lookout. We've got a barber that received an actual arrest warrant, okay? I don't know if he actually has it in his hand now. I heard some rumors, some conversation that he might have been delivered to him in person today. But yeah, as of yesterday when I talked to this last night, they literally walked into his office. Okay, so they have the police that have been in there 3 times this week, and the 4th day they came in with the sheriff because the police can't do a darn thing, okay? Just keep that in mind. It's the sheriff in that county that get to enforce her orders. So they brought the sheriff with them, and they had a signed warrant yesterday for this guy, this barber. They had 2 counts of defiance of the order. Each count carries a weight of $2,500 a piece. Okay, so you're looking at $5,000 for 2 days of operation. But they said, now that we've been here for 4 days, and we know you've been working for 4 days, we're going to add 2. We're going to go back to the judge, add 2 more, and we're going to have 4 counts. Okay, so they showed him the signed warrant by the district judge, and they said straight up, if you open up on Monday, we're going to go ahead and enforce this warrant. Okay? So we have intimidation. All right? So I have it on good source that this sheriff is a good guy, okay? And I've got good people talking to this good guy. I'm giving him the opportunity to back down. But if he doesn't back down, I need everyone to go to McPherson.
We'll be there.
We're going to have to show up en masse.
Okay.
We're going to have to support this barber in his First Amendment rights and his ability to make a living.
Okay.
This is going to be crucial. I'm telling him straight up, if you just figure this out locally, that's the way this needs to happen. Don't listen to the governor and these tyrannical orders. Make your own choice and don't check your head at the door. That's all we're asking for these sheriffs to do. We will communicate it all out when it's time. We're holding back right now. We're holding back, just giving the sheriff some time.
I know a church that's open covertly.
Absolutely.
I already know. Yeah.
Yep. Churches were having to meet in silence and having to do this already. They should be able to open now without the threats. They should be able to open now. But that doesn't mean there aren't still some circumstances around that. Now, we have an attorney here today. Where's he at? Where's Brian? Where you at? You want to come over here for a second? Yeah? You didn't even know I was going to put him on the spot. But I love your shirt. George Mason is my favorite founding father, and Scalia has got to be one of my favorite Supreme Court.
Absolutely.
All right, you want to say a few words?
Yeah. Thank you, David. You're doing a great job. And the man, this is his hour. He's been put together for this hour to lead us. I'm John Brown, actually, and I am a constitutional law attorney. I used to work with AFA, Center for Law and Policy, and so I've done constitutional work across the country. I prepared a little sheet for all of you to take home if you would like to today. It goes through some very important rights. A lot of us are talking about our federal constitution. Our federal constitution is important, but we've been bequeathed to us by great Kansans a fantastic document in our Kansas Constitution, and they're violating the hell out of it, okay? We need to stand up as Kansans and say we have constitutional rights from our founding fathers of this state to assert. I've got my contact information at the bottom of the paper. If you need an attorney, if you think you've got a situation where a TRO might work, if you think you've been repressed or been threatened, call me up. I love to do this pro bono. I'm a patriot. This is what we're here for. God bless.
Appreciate you, man. Really do. Your services are going to be vastly important in my arsenal, right? You guys are a huge part of that arsenal, but this is my fallback plan, right? I've got to have you guys show up, and I've got to have attorneys ready to go to defend our folks out there trying to just make a living. So I, again, want to make sure that everybody understands why we're here. We are here to open up Kansas fully for the entire population, okay? This doesn't mean picking winners, picking losers, picking professions that are essential and other ones that are not essential. Every job is essential. There is not a single individual that has an income and has a family that thinks that their job is not essential. That is demeaning. We need to get away from this discussion and believe that all jobs are essential. We need to protect everybody's right to make a living. And we all know this. That's why we're here today, okay? It's not just to protest. It's really to make sure that our voices are heard and to drive that home. We've got to be able to be active. We've talked to some candidates. We've talked to some folks that are trying to make a difference. The filing date, by the way, for if you want to file for office is the end of the month. So you got a little bit of time, but not a lot. But if you want to, and you're not satisfied with your representation in Topeka, come see me. I might be able to help you find the right people to talk to. They're still trying to get candidates in a lot of these districts to take on some of these folks. Again, who decides? We do! That's right, we decide. We need to make sure that we keep going no matter what. And thank you for being here today. Again, Dave Schneider here from Open Up Kansas. Really do appreciate you all being here. Let's be loud, continue to talk to these folks that are driving by. Get them to honk just like that one on cue. That was awesome. And let's keep driving the narrative forward, open up Kansas. That's right.
Let's hear it for Dave Schneider, ladies and gentlemen.